Financial Services. We're here for you to help you make your dreams come true. Whether your needs are big or small, we'll support you with it all. TDC Financial Services. We are strong. TDC Financial Services. This is where you belong.
TDC Financial Services, where money is made easy.
Flow, oh, oh. Jingle all the way home to Flow, where the speed is faster and price is better. All the way home to Flow. Merry connections that bring us together. Yeah.
Christmas starts the moment you go postpaid with Flow. Because when you do, you get a free smartphone. Plus, you get 20 gigabytes of data, unlimited WhatsApp and YouTube, and 4,000 local minutes. That's our Christmas jingling your way to keep family close anywhere, every day.
All the way home to Flow.
Visit discoverflow.co for more information.
Everything you want, everything you need, got the taste you love, anywhere that you may be, is the Caribbean flavor. Shirley biscuits make me happy.
Shirley got it all about the flavor. Shirley never let me down. When I lime it at the beach on the town, Shirley biscuits always feel like home.
Everything you want, everything you need, got the taste you love, anywhere that you may be, is the Caribbean flavor. Shirley biscuits make me happy.
Shirley, the Caribbean's favorite biscuit.
Good morning, Sinkers and Nevers, and welcome to Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. Today is Wednesday, January 11th, 2023. It is 7 minutes past the 11 o'clock hour here in our studios. I am Devon Cornelius, the host of today's edition of Voices. We have a very special guest joining us this morning. Her name is Claricia Bell, and she is from Instacash. This morning, she will be telling us about Instacash and some of the services and products that they offer, and of course telling us about all the other good things that Instacash has to offer. Good morning, Claricia, and how are you doing this morning?
Good morning, good morning. I am doing great, and how are you?
I am fantastic. Happy to be here, and I can tell that you are as well.
I'm excited. I'm excited to be giving back. That's always one of the top things for me. In any establishment that I work in, it's always good to give back. So I'm excited to tell the community what we have for them this time in January.
Awesome. So tell us why you're here this morning and some of the things that Instacash has to offer.
Well, I am here to, like I said a little bit earlier, to let the community know, to let the Federation know what Instacash will be doing for St. Kitts and Nevis in the month of January. So we are a secondhand store. For those of you who aren't familiar with us as yet, we are located in the Hosford Shopping Complex, and that is across from the Caribbean Lottery where ValueMat is. So we are a secondhand store. We buy, sell, and trade secondhand goods. You know, we do have a few new stuff in there as well. But, you know, we try our best to give the community or our customers and potential customers the best that is there in terms of secondhand produce.
Right.
So that's pretty much what it is. We also buy gold and we buy silver. No. People may be thinking, well, you buy gold, you buy silver. Does it always have to be in prestige condition? No. We buy it no matter what condition it is in. Just as long as it is real gold and real silver, we will purchase it from you. And we pay top dollar for your goods. So, yes.
This is awesome news. So what do you guys have in store for the month of January?
So for the month of January, man, I have a whole long list. You see my clipboard? There's so much things that we have to, give back that the clipboard is that long.
All right, go ahead.
But yes, so we have one of our top promotions for January, which you see the shirt that I have on, the Click for Cash promotion.
I need a shirt, please.
Yes, I will get you one.
Thanks.
So with the Click for Cash promotion, what it is, it's simple. You don't have to purchase anything from us. But what you do have to do is like and follow our social media pages. So we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, and then you also have to leave us a Google review. No, we want an honest review from you. So even if you just come into the store to see what we have, meet our staff, we have a great team that wants to, interact, meet the community, that sort of thing, and leave us a Google review. Once you finish doing that, you add our WhatsApp number to your phone and you send us your first and last name saying done. Once you've done that, that gives you one entry into winning the $1,000 that will be drawn at the end of January. See, you ain't spend the money.
Okay.
You ain't spend the money, but you have the opportunity to win $1,000 cash.
Wow.
right? And people know January is broke
Well,
month,
I was
right?
just about to say that. I was just about to say that. I mean, we spend our money carnival, and
What do
now
you mean?
it's a
Especially
chance to
on them
make some.
costumes there, because they was not cheap.
So this is really good news. You mentioned you can send the information via WhatsApp. What's the
Yes.
WhatsApp number?
The WhatsApp number is 669-8390. And for those of you who are listening, if you're not sure of all the rules or the steps into entering into the raffle, just WhatsApp us via the same number, 669-8390, and we'll be happy to assist you. We'll be happy to send you the link, so it makes it even easier for you.
Awesome.
Yes.
What else do you have in store, or Instacash has in store
Oh my gosh.
for us?
A lot. So for the entire of this week and next week, we have smart TVs on sale. All smart TVs are going to be 30% off.
Wow, for the entire week.
For the entire of this week and next week. Whether you put it on layaway, whether you buy cash out the door, it's still 30% off. So now tell me if that isn't a steal of a deal.
It is.
So our layaway plan is interest free. So there's no interest added. So if it's $100, that's all you're really spending, $100. Even if you do a layaway plan, you're just paying in installments. Now tell me if that isn't a steal of a deal.
Absolutely, it is.
Of course. And I can guarantee you all of our prices in the store are the lowest in the Federation.
Wow.
We make sure that is one of our top priorities, and we pride ourselves in doing that, to ensure that our prices are the lowest in the Federation. So that's another goodie that we have going on for the month of January. Now we also have another promotion that is sort of going to be running over into February, but I just thought for those early shoppers who like to shop early for Valentine's Day.
Man, you're reading my mind.
So for all those early shoppers, we have what we call our layaway sales. So for the entire month of January up until the second week in February, we're doing what we call a $20 down on all jewelry. So usually our layaway plan requires you to pay 20% of the cost down. All we're simply saying, hey, all of you early shoppers who want to secure any jewelry pieces for that, your significant other, your mom, your dad, come down to our store. If you see something that you like, all you have to do to secure the item is pay $20. And we secure it and put it away for you. And you come back and pay, and you can redeem it in time for Valentine's Day. Okay. And don't worry, we gift wrapping everything for you. So it's a one-stop shop, eh? There's no extra fee for that.
So you don't have the hassle of trying to buy and have to wrap it and everything.
No. We're doing all of that right there in the store for you.
That's good.
Right
That's
there.
good. That's
So
good.
that is one of our other opportunities for giving back. Because like I said, a lot of people, it's Brokes month. It's Brokes month, so it's only $20. We just literally waste $20 every day. We don't even realize we waste $20 every day.
So you can make that investment by stopping by Instacash.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly. You secure yourself or shop for yourself, because some of us, we want to treat ourselves for Valentine's Day. Or, just a one-off. This is the opportunity for you to secure any jewelry piece, whether it's gold or silver. And we also have some sets available as well. Okay. We also have his and her watches. So, for those who love birds who there for a while and they want something to, signify. Right. They might not be ready for the ring, but, at least they have the watch to say, hey, he has, and she has. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. So, yes, that's exactly what's happening at Instacash this month of January. That's a lot. Wow, I said a lot.
Awesome. I think you have more to add. Do you?
I do.
Oh,
so,
my. Go ahead.
So, along with the Click for Cash promotion in January, we actually have some gift bags that we're giving out in store. So, for those of you who want to get one of our gift bags, feel free to come down to the store. Like I said, you don't have to purchase anything. Just come on, stop on by. We just want to talk, have a chit chat with you. Give you the options that are available to you at your fingertips at Instacash.
So it's like a customer appreciation thing.
Yes,
going on?
yes.
That's good.
We've been here in the Federation since July. We appreciate the business that we've gotten so far, and we just want to continue to be supporting just the same way the customers support us. We want to be supporting them as well.
Right.
So stop by our stores. We have gift bags available in the month of January, and feel free to browse, tell a friend. Oh, before I forget, along with the Click for Cash, the more friends you refer to do the same option for the raffle, you also get another entry into the raffle. So you see, there's like So much going on. You have so many opportunities to win money, and you don't even have to spend a dime. Well, you got to pay a phone bill, of course.
Yes.
But
yes,
I mean,
yes,
come
yes,
on, $1,000, $100 phone bill. You
Yeah.
do the math.
Yeah.
So that is pretty much, what's happening with Instacash. For those of you who aren't familiar with our services, so we also do what is called Quick Cash, where you can bring items in. You may not necessarily want to sell your items, but as I say, this is Brokes month.
Right.
You may have an item or a Christmas gift that you got that is quite valuable. You want to get some cash, but you don't want to sell it. Bring it to us. We negotiate a price. You get the cash. And when you bring it, when you're ready to get back your item, you bring back the cash that we gave you plus the storage fee. It's that simple.
Explain that again.
I know.
I think somebody was listening and they weren't too
like,
sure, so
what?
let's go again.
Sure, no problem. So what it is that, if you have items at home that are in good working condition, tools, electronics, gold, furniture, we do vehicles as well.
Okay.
Please, guys, we don't take ex-wives, husbands, or children. So no, we're not in that line of business. But anything and everything of value, we
Right.
do accept. So you can bring those items into the store. We would offer you a price. We can negotiate a price. And there's also a time frame that is attached to it. So you may
Right.
just need quick cash for something rather than going to the bank and having to wait a long period of time.
That's fair enough.
We give you the cash right away. However, when you're ready to get back your item from us,
You bring
come and you pay the amount that we gave you plus the storage fee or the service charge,
Right.
which is what we call it. No, mind you, if you don't have the full amount that we gave you, you can always just pay your storage fee, and that extends your time. And that goes on for as long as the customer needs it to.
Oh,
So yeah, we're working with the community. You get cash right away, literally less than 10 minutes.
that is very flexible.
Yes.
That is very, very flexible. And as you mentioned, for people who need the cash right away,
Right away, yes.
and they don't want to go through that hassle, that is
Exactly.
awesome news.
Exactly, because a lot of us has things, that we have them put down in the house.
Yeah.
We're not using them, but
Yeah,
we
yeah,
still need
yeah,
money
yeah.
to do something. You might need to pay a quick bill.
That's
Your
true.
payday might be late. Somebody owe you a partner hand and you ain't get it yet. And you had... No, let's be straight. Sometimes you have partner
Yeah,
hand, the
that's
money
true,
done
that's
spent before it come to you, but it late.
That's true.
So can
that's
you
true.
imagine?
Yes.
So yes, things like that we're there to accommodate for.
I think you have something else to share with us. Do you?
Oh my gosh, you want me to give away the whole story now?
Well, you told us that you told me that
Yes.
you have a long list of things to
Yes.
share, and from listening to that list, it is telling me that Instacash has a lot to offer for the month of January.
We do. So
Go
for
right
those
ahead.
of you who are into tools, because we have a lot of construction workers, painters, etc. Anybody that's into that field, just so you know, we do have a new stock in. We just received yesterday. So we have brands like DeWalt, Makita, Milwaukee, you name it, we have it. So we're the place to go. And like I said, lowest prices in the Federation. Can't be beat. So come stop by, see us today. We are in the Horsford Shopping Complex, and that is across from the Caribbean Lottery. That is in the where Value Mart is.
Right.
Yes. Our contact numbers are 465-0222, and then our cell phone, or what we call our hotline number, 669-8390. So yes.
Awesome. Do you have anything else that you want to share
I
with the
think
listening
that's
audience?
about it.
All
I
right.
think that's about it. For the option that I gave you guys just a while ago about, getting quick cash, we just want to be sure that, you understand that Instacash is here for you. It's a safe, it's easy, it's fast. It's just the best way to get quick cash without the hassle. We don't require you to have a pay slip, or we don't require you to have a job letter. All you need is your ID, a government issued ID, and the item that you want to use for, as we say, collateral. And you'll be able to get your cash. No one is ever turned away unless the customer decides, that is not the option for them.
Right.
But we also make sure that we give customers the best opportunity that is available to them to get quick cash.
Can you do a quick recap of the numbers and the various social media platforms where people can reach Instacash?
Sure, no problem. Our contact numbers are 465-0222, and our hotline number is 669-8390. We're also on Facebook and Instagram, and then we're also on Google. So if you type in Google Instacash St. Kitts, we'll pop right up, and you'll be able to find us through the Google map.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Claricia. You were just listening to Claricia Bell of Instacash, and she was here to tell us about some of the exciting things, services, and products that Instacash has to offer. Thank you so much, Claricia, and all the best.
Thank you as well. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. All right, we'll take this short break to give a shout out to our sponsors, and when we come back, we will continue Voices right here on WinFM 98.9. Let's take this break, and we'll be right back.
Found the sound 98.9. WINNMedia.
Sardine have a new vibe. Brunswick sardine have a new. Brunswick sardine fillet. It have a new vibe. You hear when me say? Run go to your favorite supermarket or corner shop and grab a couple things today. Cause this a sit now where everybody a go like. Brunswick sardine have a new vibe. 5 different flavors for you to try. Brunswick sardine have a new vibe. Plus it boneless. Oh yes, that's right. Brunswick sardine have a new vibe. Packed with nutrition in every bite. It tastes nice. Brunswick sardine have a new vibe.
Buying your medication is easy with City Drugstore's curbside pickup. WhatsApp our certified pharmacist at 662-8769 with your requests. For prescriptions, take a clear photograph and send for review. We will engage you in dialogue and then provide a quotation and link for payment. You can then pay via TDC's online payment portal. And once the transaction is complete, you'll be notified that your pickup is ready. Yes, it's that easy. Send your WhatsApp message to 662-8769 to order your medications today with City Drugstore's curbside pickup service.
Flow! Jingle all the way home to Flow, where the speed is faster and price is better. All the way home to Flow. Merry connections that bring us together, yeah.
Christmas starts the moment you bundle your Flow internet with your Flow mobile. Because when you do, you get a free laptop. Plus, you get 100 megabits per second internet speed, 20 gigabytes of data, 4,000 local minutes, and unlimited WhatsApp and YouTube. That's our Christmas jingling your way to keep family close for Christmas and every day.
All the way home to Flow.
Visit discoverflow.co for more information.
Welcome back to Voices right here on WinFM 98.9. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Thank you so much for joining the program. The phone lines are open and we're taking your calls at 466-0989 or 762-0989. That is 466-0989 or 762-0989. Of course, you can also follow us on social media. You can check out our Facebook. Check us out on Facebook at WINNMedia SKN. And you can also check us out on YouTube. Let us take this call. Caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Devon.
How are you today?
I'm good, man. You sound like you're gooder than me.
Man, I'm fantastic. Happy to be here. Happy to be alive.
Okay, let me turn down the echo here. I'm far from it, but let me turn it down. Hold on there. Yeah, okay. Right. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let me go. I want to say good morning to my Calypso King, Sakwati, and Craig, and Singing Jackie. And I also want to say good morning to Carl Brown, and Mrs. Henry, and Bueller down in Newton Ground. Those are my greetings to them. Now, I have something that I can't get it work out. I cannot get it work out neither in arithmetic, sums, maths, algebra, nor geometry. I don't know how they get that work out. Now, if there is a competition in the world out there for the world champion, and I want to go to compete in that, I have to send information, all information that is required for me to enter. I have to send it to them way in advance. I can't just get up tonight, Wednesday night, and go catch a plane and go Germany to enter the World Championship in cycling. Now, we had the Calypso show here in St. Kitts. I think it's around the 28th of December. And you're going to tell me the person who crowned monarch of the Calypso competition that Thursday night, the Friday morning, they don't fly out on a plane, gone to another island, which is Mount Strat, to compete in Calypso show to represent the Federation? Well, how that work? Something is wrong there, because anybody can see that was pre-planned, that the individual, we're going to put on a crown on your head and call you the monarch of the Calypso show. That's why that individual was able to fly out the next day, go Mount Strat, go compete in a Calypso show up there. That means luggage was packed and ticket was bought, reservation was made, and all kind of thing. So that there is not fear, and people must not do things wrong. Well, wrong is wrong, and right is right. Mm-hmm. Do not cheat to come out and say you're victorious over somebody else. Because you have a conscience. When you go lay down to sleep, whether night or day, your conscience is facing you, it's nagging you. Because you know definitely they cheat for you to be that position. And it is not right. So, my thing is this: stop cheating people for politics. Done with that. Done with that.
Well,
and
as I would, sorry, caller,
yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. And an MC is a person who have the ability to read the information or the notices that the MC is supposed to give out to the listening audience, who the next competitor will be, and what the name and what not. But what you call it, the master of ceremony is different to a comedian. A comedian goes up there and he tries to make things look and sound difficult, so the audience will say, well, how the cow jump over the moon? How we get that to do? No cow could jump. So it's left to the audience to work out how that happened, and that will create some kind of laughter. So when you're going to turn away an MC, and the MC has not done anything wrong, pertaining to the protocol of the MC duty. Something a lot of things is wrong with that. Definitely the MC ain't swearing a bad word at no show. The MC just say what an MC supposed to do. So a lot of things is wrong, and they must not crown people as the Calypso King because of politics.
Well,
Nothing but singing Calypso.
let me say, caller, we don't know for a fact if that is the case. What I can say, I don't know the process with the whole Calypso thing and how the monarch usually participates in the competition. I think it was in Montserrat, I stand to be corrected.
Yeah,
but
Montserrat.
I am assuming that it was a case where it is standard that whoever wins the Calypso show here in St. Kitts automatically moves forward to participate in the Calypso show in Montserrat. So I wouldn't say it was a situation where it was any cheating or anything that was going on. As I said, I don't know the process behind the whole Calypso show and how they participate and what they do behind the stage in terms of the person who wins here and going forward to Montserrat. But I would think that whoever wins the show here, it is automatic where you participate in the show in Montserrat. But I think it's a bit unfair to suggest that there was cheating and they favored any particular individual.
Okay, well, let me say this now. Since 2000, when it was 2001, we did 9/11 thing. To go on a plane, one has to call in way in advance and make reservation to go. And they will tell you whether they have a space open that you could come and go on, or they have you on standby. And like I said, you have to send your information to the organizers where you're going, so they have it written down, everything there. They're supposed to have knowledge of who come in and when they're going to be reaching there, and who they're going to be representing. How come the individual who went Montserrat could go Friday morning after the competition Thursday as the monarch of the Calypso show? That was pre-planned.
I disagree.
You disagree? Well, that's you, but it is so.
So you know for a fact. So caller, you know for a fact that is so.
Well, why Secretary went? Why Craig went? No other Calypso.
No,
went. Why that got to go?
Well, I hear you. I hear you, caller. But I'm asking you, do you know for a fact that that's the case?
Not what the case, man. That was pre-planned. And only the individual and Jesus Christ will tell me that was not pre-planned. Anyway, let me move out the way. Let somebody else come in.
All right, caller.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much for your contribution to this program. It is 11:34, and you're listening to Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. The phone lines are open, and we're taking your calls at 466-0989 or 762-0989. That is 466-0989 or 762-0989. This is Voices for Wednesday, January 11th, 2023. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. We'll take a short break to give a shout out to our sponsors, and when we come back, we will continue Voices right here. Let's take this break, and we'll be right back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Flow! Jingle all the way home to Flow, where the speed is faster and price is better. All the way home to Flow. Merry connections that bring us together. Yeah.
Christmas starts the moment you go postpaid with Flow. Because when you do, you get a free smartphone. Plus, you get 20 gigabytes of data, unlimited WhatsApp and YouTube, and 4,000 local minutes. That's our Christmas jingling your way to keep family close anywhere, every day.
All the way home to Flow.
Visit discoverflow.co for more information.
Everything you want, everything you need, got the taste you love, anywhere that you may be, is the Caribbean flavor. Shirley biscuits make me happy.
Shirley got it all about the flavor. Shirley never let me down. And I lime it at the beach on the town. Shirley biscuits always feel like home.
Everything you want, everything you need, got the taste you love, anywhere that you may be, is the Caribbean flavor. Shirley biscuits make me happy.
Shirley, the Caribbean's favorite biscuit.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust. To secure your investment, you need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us.
TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind.
You're always safe with us.
Welcome back to Voices right here on WinFM 98.9. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Thank you so much for joining the program. The phone lines are open and we're taking your calls at 466-0989 or 762-0989. That is 466-0989 or 762-0989. It is 11:38. We break at 12 for the headline news, and of course we continue the program there. After the phone lines are open and we are taking your calls. It is Wednesday, January 11th, 2023. With regards to the concern raised by the previous caller concerning the Calypso show, I made to understand that it's a situation where, let's say our finals is held here on the Saturday. Then it's a situation where their finals is held on the Sunday, and I was made to understand that the person at times would be chosen in advance. I think there was a year when someone went to represent, but they did not win that night. So they didn't win in our finals, but they went on to represent. Let's take this call. Let's go back to the phone lines. A caller. Okay, we lost that call. Let's take this other caller. Caller, you are on the air. Good morning.
Good morning, Devon. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks.
And how is the weather in Nevis?
The
weather. Let it rain and stuff like that?
Yes, it is lovely.
Well, is today a public holiday in Nevis?
Why would today be a public holiday?
I'm being facetious. Today is the Premier's birthday.
Oh.
You didn't know?
No, I didn't know that.
Did you know?
I didn't know that, no.
Well, Kitty Chantal in a vision. Today is Mark Brantley's birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. Brantley. And Saturday, they say, is Dr. Douglas's birthday, so you put it on your calendar. Now, this debacle they're having, Saturday's supposed to be the prize giving. Isn't that so?
I am not sure. I would assume
but
so.
That's what I wanted to know if they postpone it or what. Because if there are queries about the position of some people rather than have the prize given for that event. I would expect the carnival committee to carry out the investigation.
But that's unnecessary.
That is what you think.
That is unnecessary.
Why? Give me one good reason.
It is unnecessary. So you're saying,
No,
right?
give me a good reason.
You're saying that if people are querying whether this person should have won or that person should have won, they must cancel everything and start an investigation.
No,
you have to present proof.
Again,
Hold on. You have to present proof first, right? That this person should not have won the competition. And then an investigation should be initiated. But not because somebody say, I don't think this person should have won. You stop everything and then you start an investigation.
I understand.
That's wasting
I agree with
time.
that,
That's wasting time. And that's wasting money.
If I agree with you with what you just said, but if it is a case where some competitors have what they call evidence, the evidence should be examined. And the public should know, look, we heard this allegation, we investigated, and we found out that it is not so. But if that is not done, it would leave some competitors and the general public in doubt. You don't think so?
I agree with you, and that's the point I was
I
trying.
agree with you what you said a while ago too, right?
That's the point I'm trying to make. If
But
you
I
have
heard,
evidence,
I heard that some of them lodged the complaint. But I said to myself, why didn't they lodge it before the night? When did the offense really take place? The night before the show? What you understand? When did the offense take place?
What
did the person compete somewhere else with the same song or same songs before the finals?
Well, I'm not entirely sure what you're talking about.
Let me tell you what I'm talking about.
Yes, go
So
ahead.
you understand where I'm coming from.
Yes.
I heard a caller on another radio station mentioned that either one or more of the female contestants who qualified as king and first one up, second one up, whatever, that the songs that they sung were used in a competition in another country. And based on the thing that the songs that should enter the competition must be original. So they're saying, some said that song was done in by somebody else in another country. I know that some of them do have writers in other countries. That is what, only with Calbone I heard it. So I am asking, what investigation have they done? Got to say that the songs was sung must be by other people too. Or by one or some of the competitors. That is what they're talking about.
All right. Well, and thank you for sharing that. And it's the point that I'm making. If you have a situation where you have proof that this person should not have gotten this place because they breached the criteria or whatever, then you have a case. But it can't be a situation where, the public say, man, I don't think Miss Henry should have win. So
I understand, because you say it's like people cheat.
Yeah,
But the solution, and you have access, the carnival committee chair, I am sure she's a nice person. So what you all should do, so maybe somebody from your newsroom, investigate it. It will stop their speculation. Because if it is allowed to go through, and they have the prize given, and then I saw it with another show, where after the person was declared the winner, they had to disqualify them. Sometimes those things could be done before and done even quietly.
Right. Fair enough, yes.
So happy birthday to Mr. Brantley, and advance birthday greeting to Dr. Douglas. And all those who are having Good day to all those who are listening, and condolences to all who are grieving. What other topic do you have so I could listen offline?
That's just about it, but more so an open ear today.
Yeah, but do me a favor. During your lunch break, call Miss Shani Harley. Ask her about it, because that would end a lot of the speculation.
All right.
Once allegations are made, they are further there, and people take side. So I would like to know what exactly is the position. All right, then.
All right, caller, thank you so much for your contribution to this program. The phone lines are open, and we're taking your calls right here on Voices on WinFM 98.9. It is Wednesday, January 11th, 2023, 11:46. We break at 12 for the headline news. The phone lines are open. Call us at 466-0989 or 762-0989. That is 466-0989, and 762-0989. This is Voices. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. We're heading back to the phone lines and we'll take this call. Caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Good morning to everybody. Greetings in Jesus' name, the only Savior of sinners from sins and from hell, and the second person, eternal Trinity. Now, I would like to tell my fellow countrymen that, because it's something I'm seeing a lot, like shared on WhatsApp and that sort of stuff. People like T.D. Jakes, Joel Osteen, Kenneth Copeland, Joyce Meyer, Paula White, and all of these word of faith people, they are all false. They are misleading people to hell. They don't preach the gospel. And so while they may preach messages that are encouraging, they do not preach the gospel. They don't preach repentance. They don't preach on sin. They don't preach on hell. And they don't preach how you could get saved. They just give encouraging messages. And not only that, what there are scammers for people money. What they're out for is just your money. And they give you these good, feel-good messages, and they're telling you if you ain't get to them, I mean, in order for you to get wealthy and that sort of stuff, you need to give to them and that sort of stuff. These people are false and misleading people to hell. These word of faith people that we are seeing on Tibian and that sort of stuff. So I would just like to tell people, beware of these wolves in sheep clothing and keep very far from them. Okay, thank you. Take care.
All right, thank you, caller, for your contribution to this program. It is 11:49 here in the studios of WinFM 98.9. We'll take a quick break to give a shout out to our sponsors, and when we come back, we'll continue Voices right here on WinFM 98.9.
Found the sound 98.9.
TDC Financial Services. We're here for you to help you make your dreams come true. Whether your needs are big or small, we'll support you with them all. TDC Financial Services. We are strong. TDC Financial Services. This is where you belong.
TDC Financial Services, where money is made easy.
Flow, jingle all the way home to Flow, where the speed is faster and price is better. All the way home to Flow, merry connections that bring us together, yeah.
Christmas starts the moment you bundle your Flow internet with your Flow mobile. Because when you do, you get a free laptop. Plus, you get 100 megabits per second internet speed, 20 gigabytes of data, 4,000 local minutes, and unlimited WhatsApp and YouTube. That's our Christmas jingling your way to keep family close for Christmas and every day.
All the way home to Flow.
Visit discoverflow.co for more information.
Sardine have a new vibe. Brunswick sardine have a new. Brunswick sardine fillet. It have a new vibe. You hear what me say? Run go to your favorite supermarket or corner shop and grab a couple things today. Cause this a sitting where everybody a go like. Brunswick sardine have a new vibe. 5 different flavors for you to try. Brunswick sardine have a new vibe. Plus it boneless. Oh yes, that's right. Brunswick sardine have a new vibe. Packed with nutrition in every bite. It tastes nice. Brunswick sardine have a new vibe.
Welcome back to Voices. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning again, Mr. Cornelius.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Greg, good morning. Happy New Year to you. I agree with Greg 100% because I could testify to that. Some years ago, one of those names that Greg called out announced on the church program that he was traveling on a cruise and he was coming to the Caribbean. And so, a church organization in one of these countries around here get in touch with him. And they told him that they were having a program at the church and they would like him while he in the area to come and preach for them. And he agreed to come and preach for them. But he gave them a price where they're going to have to pay him. And they said, okay, they agree. They went and tried and raise the funds, and they did not make it to the amount that he requested. So when the ship pulled up in the harbor, he called them and asked them if everything is ready. They tell him everything is set, except the cost that he gave them. They're only half the way. And he told them, money up front, otherwise he cannot come. So I'm saying this to say that Greg is right. A lot of them, they're just preaching money. They're trying to see how much money they can get for poor people who sacrifice and give them the money. And they're not preaching the gospel from the Bible. And there is where they're going to burn in hell for not doing what they're supposed to do. They proclaim to be something else, contrary to what they are. And just to show you how they be, the gospel ain't supposed to sell. The gospel is supposed to be preached freely and leave it up to individuals if they want to say, well, okay, I appreciate it. Here's a little token for you. But you don't give nobody no price to preach the gospel. So, Greg, you are perfectly right, and I'm behind you with that. Thank you very much, Mr. Cornelius.
And thank you, caller, for your contribution to the program. It is Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. It is 11:54, and you are tuned into WINNFM for Wednesday, January 11th, 2023. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning again, Devon. Good morning, Greg. Now, let me give you a little advice. A lot of what you say may be true, but it is of no use or any help until you provide alternative pastors. It makes no sense to say, well, them they does that. So what about those who preach the gospel? Why not give them your time? All you're doing more harm than good, you know. The Bible said, don't let your good be evil spoken of. The same thing when everybody gonna go hell. Let people know how to avoid hell. Let them know what repent entails. Then you'll be more effective. Because nobody, the Bible says, God is not willing that anybody should perish. God takes no pleasure, he said, in the death of the wicked, but rather that they repent. So tell them what repent means. And your economics. You know, I like to hear with the economics, you know. It would be very good if you really pursue a deeper study in the economics. Don't just bring your one-sided things. Well, people who I trust. But I study economics, eh? And I can tell you, there are many theories to what you say. People choose the one they want. And you have this capitalist thing up. You yourself confess there are no free capitalist countries, none. And the aim of those you're praising, all right, so you cut taxes, so the government have less to provide. Are these companies giving things? You hear Amazon. Amazon make money can done during COVID. And now that COVID is reduced, they're laying off people by the thousands. The people who they barely pay to survive, have them working like slaves. So if there is no social services, social safety net available, the poor would die. It happened before with the rise of the same capitalism you're talking about. They have most. Imagine the same America you're talking about. Some of them don't even get maternity leave. The government says you're going to give free health care. Oh, your people them. Oh, then this and that. Eh? If companies, they're not giving health insurance, they cut the benefits. And then they're making billions, some of them in profits. And you call that capitalism? That more like feudalism? And please to tell me exactly, outline the Bible way. Don't just say that in the Bible way. Because I have a Bible, you have a Bible. And God is not, you see, God is the God for the poor, you know. And in no way he condones the way poor are treated. No way. And that is why governments all over the world have to step in. People working in America, they got a job, they can't eat. Free capitalism, you know. People, I mean, when you hear how the life in America go, eh? People in some parts can't get no work. They might have one industry here. And the nice capitalists, whose only aim is to get profits, up and move the factory, leave everybody unemployed.
Mm-hmm.
So how are they to survive?
Mm-hmm.
How are they to survive? Please, look, you make a good economist, because I can give you credit. You do your study. But you come in with a one-sided story. You make God look bad. You make God look bad. You're not helping the kingdom. If you have a Bible and you say you're going to church every Sunday, shouldn't you know the gospel? And what is the response to it where it is preached? You must have enough sense to know who to give and who not to give to. So when you're condemning, praise, say, look, if you come to my church, you hear the gospel. If you listen to that pastor, you hear the gospel. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Not just tearing down. All right, then. You're still my good brother, eh? My brother in the Lord. But you got to do a better job than that. You got to promote, not denigrate. All right, then.
All right, caller, thank you for your contribution to this program. You're listening to Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is 11:59. Of course, we break at 12 for the headline news. And when we come back, we'll continue Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. So we'll take this break for the headline news. And when we come back, we will continue the program. Before we take the break for the headline news, though, I want to congratulate Miss Shalissa Glassford on her promotion at the Park Hyatt. So there's a press release from the Park Hyatt that says Park Hyatt St. Kitts Christoph Harbour is proud to announce the transfer of our first Nivision colleague to a Park Hyatt in our Europe, Africa, and Middle East region. It says joining two other nationals from St. Kitts transferring from the resort in the last 6 months, Shalissa Glassford of Gingerland Nevis will journey to Australia, where she will assume the role of front office duty manager at Park Hyatt St. Kitts. With an educational background and experience in hospitality spanning the last decade, Shalissa's career at Park Hyatt St. Kitts began in 2017 as a housekeeping supervisor. During her tenure at Park Hyatt, Shalissa held management positions in the guest services, front office, and housekeeping departments. In a farewell ceremony at the resort's Banana Bay Ballroom on January 5th, the Director of Human Resources, Waveney Henry, described Shalissa as relentless. Shalissa's quest for setting goals and achieving them is a way of life where she is a vision board queen and teaches others how to discover their passion and unleash their potential to ultimately better serve themselves. So heartiest congratulations to you, Shalissa, on your promotion, and best wishes on your journey. We'll take this break for the headline news, and when we come back, we'll continue Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. Let's take this break, and we'll be right back.
You found the sound. 98.9. Win FM.
We now bring you the headline news. The headline news is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, KDP Enterprises, The Grange, and Carib Brewery.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
With over a century of perfection behind the Mackeson name, a smooth blend with perfect balance and richness, it's no wonder Mackeson Triple Stout has a legacy of perfection. Enjoyed the world over. Introducing our new look with the same great taste. Mackeson. All hail the king.
Please drink responsibly.
We are faced with tough decisions every day, but choosing the right home or motor insurance shouldn't be one. You need fast claim settlement from a company that's been rooted for over 31 years. And don't forget the A Excellent rating by AM Best. Make the intelligent home, motor, contents, and liability insurance needs, and make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance. Tomorrow secured. Local agents, Dalil Walwyn & Co. Limited. Telephone 465-2631 or 469-5303 for the Nevis office.
With the Win Headline News, I am Kevon Brown.
I am Devon Cornelius.
And I am Yulana Weeks.
Making the headlines, Nevis Reformation Party officially challenges results of December 12 poll. Chairman of Antigua Labour Party refutes claims that candidates may not back Gaston Brown for Prime Minister. Jamaica's tourism minister says the country collected billions in the last year despite instability in global tourism market. Internationally, 6 people have been injured, with 1 in a critical condition after a stabbing at Paris's International Gare du Nord station. Meanwhile, Brazil's Jair Bolsonaro was released from a Florida hospital after the former president was admitted for intestinal pain, a day after hundreds of his supporters stormed key government buildings in Brazil's capital. Now, the details. The Nevis Reformation Party's J.D. Keynes and Dr. Patricia Bartlett are challenging the results of the December 12, 2022 Nevis Island Assembly elections in Nevis 1, St. Paul and Nevis 2, St. John constituencies. On Tuesday, January 10th, an official document was filed with the High Court of Justice of St. Christopher and Nevis in the Nevis Circuit, listing Keynes as the petitioner and the Concerned Citizens Movement's Spencer Brand, among others, as respondents. In an audio shared with the media, NRP's Keynes said,
I just want to say thanks to everyone who partnered to make this possible. I also want to thank everyone who encouraged me to move this matter forward. I have always felt that the December 12, 2022 elections were not fair across the board and based on a today. I won't comment on the specifics of the petition, but I thought it necessary to let the people of Nevis, the people of St. Paul, know that their change agent is standing up for what is right.
Keynes in the December 12 poll gained 604 votes, while the incumbent Spencer Brand received 631 votes, according to the results announced on election night. During the first week of the new year, Dr. Bartlett filed an election petition challenging the results of Nevis 2 St. John.
I would like to thank the 1,165 voters of the St. John's constituency who voted for and with me for change in the December 12, 2022 Nevis Island Assembly elections. However, due to numerous irregularities and illegalities surrounding the conduct of the said poll, I moved on Friday the 6th January 2023 to sign a petition which was filed with the court challenging the results of the elections. I stand on principle, demanding free and fair elections for our people. And it is my view that we should never allow the institutions safeguarding our democracy to be manipulated. I welcome and appreciate the encouragement and confidence expressed by the many supporters who are demanding, and rightly so, a more just society. And I would just like to assure everyone that I am committed to working for and with my people for a better Nevis.
Following the declaration of the winners by the Supervisor of Elections, Oakland Peets, accusations of irregularities occurring during the December 12th elections were made. To address the alleged irregularities, petitions were filed, and now the public will await the results. The results of the December 12th local elections, CCM retained the majority for the third consecutive time with 3 seats, and the NRP secured the other 2 seats. In regional news, Chairman of Antigua Labour Party refutes claims that candidates may not back Gaston Brown for Prime Minister. Jamaica's tourism minister says the country collected billions in the last year despite instability in global tourism market. Those reports and more from Carib Update.
Chairman of the Antigua Labour Party, Chet Green, says winning party candidates in next week's general elections in Antigua will absolutely back Gaston Brown as leader. Green was apparently responding to a claim by former colleague Asot Michael that there is no guarantee that all victorious ABLP candidates will back Brown to return as leader. Michael had said there were candidates within the incumbent party that are eager to see the back of Brown. Michael, who after falling out with the Prime Minister is contesting the poll as an independent, suggests if the results next week are close, there could be a realignment. But Green, speaking Tuesday in St. John's at the launch of the party's manifesto, said the Prime Minister enjoys the confidence of every Labour Party candidate.
You might all be aware that they have been suggested
that after these general elections, elected members of his party would support someone other than our leader, Gaston Brown. I speak for all the candidates. I speak for all the candidates of the ABLP when I say, unequivocally, that we know that we have a strong, proven and skillful leader in Gaston Alfonso Brown. A leader who's capable to guide the implementation of our next level programs for the benefit of all. We stand beside him, now as we've done throughout his successful stewardship of our country's affairs over these last 8 years. About that, let there be absolutely no doubt.
The leader of Antigua's Small Democratic National Alliance, DNA, has thrown shade at the attempts of the two major parties there to court the non-national vote in next week's general elections. Both the Antigua-Barbuda Labour Party and the main opposition United Progressive Party have issued policy statements similar to each other on new measures that appear to pander to what is believed to be 30% of the registered electoral voters. Speaking to WPG 10 Tuesday, DNA leader Joan Messiah criticized both parties on the issue of policy towards the non-nationals. But her strongest words were reserved for the opposition United Progressive Party, which she was part of, before leaving to form her own movement.
There has always been an anti-foreigner, that's what they call them, sentiment within the UPP. I was there for almost 20 years. I know it. And so I don't think that any of the Caribbean brothers and sisters here are fooled by any last-ditch effort for the UPP to try to be inclusive.
Messiah said while the Labour Party has always courted the non-national vote, it has not always acted in ways to fully empower the community.
The Labour Party, on the other hand, they have always courted them. They have always seen it fit to prescribe and try to put into effect certain policies which really have not benefited the Caribbean nationals in any meaningful way. In fact, some of them, they've just downright reneged on them after the elections. So we say in the DNA, we've got to walk the walk, we've got to talk the talk, and that's exactly what we're doing.
Jamaica's Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says the country's tourism sector is experiencing an explosion of visitor arrivals since the reopening of the economy following the COVID-19 shutdown. Speaking in the House of Representatives late Tuesday, Bartlett said the economy has collected billions of dollars in revenue over the last year, despite instability in the global market.
And the winter season so far, Madam Speaker, has started, and we use the term with a bang. And what a bang it is. Because the January figures today is showing a 463% increase over last year. 463% increase over last year. And a 29% increase over 2019. We ended the year equaling the record-breaking earnings of tourism of $3.64 billion.
Still in Jamaica, leader of the opposition, Mark Golden, has declined to name opposition members of parliament to sit on the Constitutional Reform Committee, chaired by Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, Marlene Malahoo-Fort. Speaking in the House of Representatives Tuesday, Malahoo-Fort said Golden has expressed reservations about proposed amendments to the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedoms. Expressing disappointment at the opposition's position, Malahoo-Fort said while she understood the concerns, those could be ventilated during deliberations of the committee and consensus achieved.
Don't hold up the naming of the committee. The purpose of the committee is to provide guidance. The purpose of the committee is to help to build consensus and to ensure that the views of the parliamentary opposition are taken into account. Madam Speaker, I really am beyond disappointed because I thought once and for all, government and opposition and the majority of the people were in agreement that we should move full speed ahead.
Opposition leader Mark Golden, in responding to Minister Malahoo-Fort in the House on Tuesday, said he wrote to the minister last June seeking clarity on the work of the Constitutional Reform Committee, but did not receive a response until January 5 this year.
We now bring you these international reports.
French authorities have confirmed that 6 people, including a policeman, have been stabbed by a man wielding a knife at the Gare du Nord train station in Paris. The attack took place early on Wednesday morning. A short time ago, the French Interior Minister, Gérald Darmanin, held a press conference saying 1 person had been seriously injured in the incident. He also added that 2 off-duty policemen had fired 3 times at the attacker, wounding him. He's reportedly in a life-threatening condition under arrest in hospital. A police cordon had been put into place. This is one of the world's busiest travel hubs, linking the French capital to the United Kingdom and also Northern Europe. The attacker's motive is not clear. France, though, does remain on a state of heightened security alert after a number of deadly attacks by militants since 2015. Well, let's get the latest from the BBC's Lucy Williamson, who joins me now from Paris. Lucy, I wonder if you can just update us, please, on the latest.
Well, as you say, the Interior Minister has been down to Gare du Nord and has been speaking about this. From what we understand, the attack happened just before the morning rush hour, just before 7 o'clock in the morning. It began outside the Gare du Nord and then continued inside. And the attacker seems to have been using something like a knife, but a sort of makeshift weapon, something homemade perhaps. And as you say, managed to injure 6 people, one of them seriously, before those off-duty police officers who were on their way home after their shift intervened and fired at him and stopped the attack. Now, Gérald Darmanin says the whole attack took a minute. It was 6:42 when it began and 6:43 when the off-duty police officers fired at the attacker. And the question now, obviously, for investigators is why this attack took place. And on that, we have very little information because the attacker is now in hospital with serious, we're told, life-threatening injuries. And so investigators are still waiting to talk to him. He's obviously receiving treatment at the moment. And as we understand from the Interior Minister, there were no identity documents on him. What we do know is that the judicial forces here are treating it as a criminal act, not specifically a terrorist act at the moment.
OK, and what reaction has there been from Paris, from France in general? I mean,
well, as you said, this is one of Europe's busiest train stations. It's pretty packed a lot of the day, and certainly at that time of the morning, it would be leading up to the morning rush hour. People would be going up there for the Eurostar trains, to the trains that leave for all over northern France, for the local rail service. It's packed a lot of the time, and there's obviously a lot of shock around this. But I should say it's not the first time we've seen these kinds of incidents. You mentioned the spate of major terrorist attacks that we've had here in France over the last 10 years. Lots and lots of smaller ones too. And in fact, last year there was another attempted attack at Gare du Nord, a man armed with a knife who threatened police officers. And we've also had attacks on trains coming into Gare du Nord as well. So I think people are aware of the dangers around this kind of thing happening. As I say, at the moment, we don't know the reason for this attack, and that, I think, is going to be crucial in the coming days.
And Lucy, for travellers, I mean, is the station, are services running as normal now?
Services are still running, but you can imagine a lot of the trains are delayed. There is still a police cordon around what is obviously a crime scene, so parts of the station are not accessible, but large parts of it are in operation, and I think the authorities there are trying to get trains in and out as quickly as possible to catch up with the schedule.
Brazil's former president Jair Bolsonaro was discharged from a hospital near Orlando, Florida on Tuesday, a source close to the family said. Video captured Bolsonaro entering a house in a gated community in Kissimmee, Florida, after his release. He was admitted to hospital on Monday for intestinal pains, a day after hundreds of his supporters stormed key government buildings in the capital, Brasilia. Bolsonaro's hospital discharge came as an arrest warrant was issued for one of his ex-ministers over the rampage. A Brazilian Supreme Court judge ordered the arrest of Anderson Torres, who became public security chief for Brasilia this month after serving as Bolsonaro's justice minister. Torres, who was removed from office on Sunday, was not in the city when the riots occurred, having flown to Florida earlier this month. In a tweet on Tuesday, he said he would cut short his family vacation in Florida and return to Brazil to take care of his defense. It was unclear if Torres had met with Bolsonaro in Florida. The judge also issued an order to arrest the head of Brazilia's military police. Details of the charges leveled against the pair were not immediately clear, but the arrest order cited their failure to ensure proper security forces were in place. The Sunday rampage came a week after President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva was sworn in and is widely seen as the worst attack on Brazilian democracy in decades. On Tuesday, another Supreme Court judge surveyed the damage done to the courthouse in Brasilia. In a tearful statement, Justice Gilmar Mendes questioned, how did we get to this point? Before adding, we have to do everything to prevent this from happening again.
President Biden and the leaders of Canada and Mexico have said that they'd strengthened a regional partnership after a three-way summit in Mexico City. Our correspondent, Will Grant, was there.
Even President Biden's arrival bore the hallmark of his host. The administration of Mexico's President Andrés Manuel López Obrador had requested that Air Force One land at a new airport outside Mexico City, a project championed by President AMLO and considered by his critics to be an unnecessary, expensive vanity project. It's not clear what the two men discussed on their long shared drive, but at the early photo opportunities the body language was warm enough, which then contrasted sharply with the Mexican leader's public rebuke of Washington.
It is time to put an end to this oblivion, this abandonment and disdain for Latin America and the Caribbean, which runs contrary to the good neighbour policy of the Titan President Franklin Roosevelt.
For his part, President Joe Biden didn't miss a beat, defending his administration's record in the region.
You know, the United States provides more foreign aid than every other country just about combined in the world. Unfortunately, our responsibility just doesn't end in the Western Hemisphere.
As the bilateral meeting between Biden and AMLO grew into the full meeting of the so-called Three Amigos, with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau of Canada, the emphasis was on finding shared solutions to common problems. Some analysts, though, say it remains a huge challenge in a series of areas, from energy policy and security to, crucially, immigration.
Mexico has insisted a lot, for instance, on the importance of regional development and sub-regional development, and Central America in particular, as a way to address in the mid to long term the issue of immigration. And it's true. The U.S. is concerned about how do you get to that mid-term solution. You need a solution now. And that's true as well. And that is not solved in one meeting.
At the end of the two-day summit, the three leaders tried to present a united front. Yet as they discussed the issues which they'd touched upon, the spaces between them seemed as big, arguably bigger, than the areas of common agreement.
For all the talk of progress in areas of mutual interest, such as climate change, green energy, immigration and the opioid crisis, this summit will be viewed by some as a missed opportunity. It was a chance, after years of pandemic and economic downturn, for the so-called Three Amigos to show that they do in fact share a political and economic vision for the region. If they do, many of those watching on here in Mexico City remain unsure as to exactly what it is. Will Grant, BBC News, Mexico.
Russia's mercenary Wagner group has claimed control over the town of Soledar in eastern Ukraine. But Kyiv says its soldiers are holding out. The conflicting claims by both sides haven't been independently verified. Well, fighting in Soledar has been intense in recent days. Officials in Kyiv say Ukrainian forces were holding on after repelling waves of attacks by the mercenaries. Well, let's cross to Kyiv and speak to the BBC's Ugo Bachega. Hello there to Ugo. First off, what's the latest situation as you understand in Soledar?
Good morning, Luquesta. So it's a very fluid situation there. We had this claim from the leader of the Wagner group, this mercenary group, which has been leading the fighting there in Soledar, claiming that most of the town is now under Russian control. He did say, though, that fighting was still happening in the town center. Now, we haven't had official confirmation from the Ukrainian authorities. President Zelensky last night said the situation in the Donbas region in eastern Ukraine was extremely difficult. He didn't talk about the situation in Soledar, but the deputy defense minister said that fighting was still raging, and again she said that the Russian side had suffered significant losses. She said that the ground around the town of Soledar was covered by bodies of dead Russian fighters. So fighting has been intense for a few days now. Russian forces and Ukrainian troops have been engaged in some brutal battles in this town. And this is a town that's just miles away from Bakhmut. For a very long time we've been talking about Bakhmut, how the Russians have been determined to capture this town of Bakhmut. So if the Russians succeed in taking Soledar, this would give them a base from which they can continue with this offensive to try to capture Bakhmut. And it would be also significant for the Russians because this would be the first major victory in many months after humiliating setbacks on the battlefield in recent months. So fighting still happening there apparently, but difficult to determine who is controlling Soledar right now.
Well, Hugo, if we could just turn to the Wagner mercenaries. There's 2 points I wonder if you could just clarify for us. Why is it that Russia would be using a mercenary group when they have their own troops? What does Wagner bring to it, and how long have they been part of this conflict?
So, well, the leader of Wagner is a Putin ally, and he's been personally involved in this battle in the Donetsk region. And, I mean, there's a lot of infighting happening at this moment. We've been talking about criticism in Russia towards the military. Some military bloggers who become incredibly influential in this war have criticized the Russian army of incompetence because of recent setbacks. And the Wagner group has taken the lead in the fight in Donetsk, especially in the fight for Bakhmut. So it is now a personal battle, if you will, for the leader of this mercenary group. He has publicly said that he wants to capture Bakhmut as a personal prize. So these are, the fighters now. They're leading the Russian offensive in that part of the country.
You were listening to the WINNFM Headline News on 98.9. Our top stories were: Nevis Reformation Party officially challenges results of December 12 poll. Chairman of Antigua Labour Party refutes claims that candidates may not back Gaston Brown for Prime Minister. Jamaica's tourism minister says the country collected billions in the last year despite instability in global tourism market. Internationally, 6 people have been injured, with 1 in a critical condition after a stabbing at Paris's International Gare du Nord station. Meanwhile, Brazil's Jair Bolsonaro was released from a Florida hospital after the former president was admitted for intestinal pain, a day after hundreds of his supporters stormed key government buildings in Brazil's capital. Thank you for listening.
That was the WINNFM Headline News. The Headline News was brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, KDP Enterprises, The Grange, and Caribbean.
We are faced with tough decisions every day, but choosing the right home or motor insurance shouldn't be one. You need fast claim settlement from a company that's been rooted for over 31 years. And don't forget the A Excellent rating by AM Best. Make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Reliable insurance that you can count on. Get a quote today for your home, motor, contents, and liability insurance needs, and make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance. Tomorrow secured. Local agents, Dalil Walwyn & Co. Limited. Telephone 465-2631 or 469-5303 for the Nevis office.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects or sunshine,
or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is WIN FM.
Sportsman's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less and save more. How, you ask? Essential Everyday and Equiline. Spend less on our Essential Everyday products and get the best quality, the best taste, and the best value. Spend less for all your family health and beauty needs with the Equiline brand of over-the-counter products. Sportsman's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less with our Essential Everyday products and Equiline over-the-counter health and beauty care products. Shop smart and spend less at Value Mart, where price matters most.
Welcome back to Voices right here on WINN-FM 98.9. It is 12:37 in our studios for today, Wednesday, January 11th, 2023. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Thank you so much for joining the program. Caller, you are our first call for this afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Devon. God bless you and all who are listening to you. Now, first of all, I would also like to say, Benny Hinn and Joel Osteen are also two more of the wolves in sheep clothing, who are money grabbers, conmen who are leading people to hell. Joel Osteen and Ben Hinn, in addition as well as many others. And sad to say, many preachers and churches here are patterned off of these wolves in sheep clothing and are misleading people to hell as well because they are money grabbers as well, even here in St. Kitts and Nevis. Now, I would like to, concerning, well, good afternoon to Culture, good afternoon to Miss Henry, but Culture still hold to those opinions that you vehemently opposes. So, be it as it may. Now, concerning Mrs. Henry, I hold to economics as taught in the Bible. You hold to economics as you were taught in the universities, which is the worldly form of economics, which are lies of Satan. Only the Bible has the truth, and only the Bible version of economics, politics, and that sort of stuff are of God. All the worldly teachings that they teach in the universities and so which you are learning, they are contrary to the Bible. In the end, they are contrary to the Bible, and they are not good. They are lies of Satan. And in saying this, I have defended what I've said based upon Romans 13 and so on, and you have never ever been able to refute what I have said. Now, concerning me telling people the gospel and how to get saved and that sort of stuff, I've done that many times in the past, but I cannot go into length on program like these because you will not give me the time. I will not have the time. I will be cut off. So whatever bits and pieces I can say, I do say and have said. I have told people how to get saved. As a matter of fact, in my cause, I begin by saying, Jesus Christ, who is the only Savior of sinners, who saved people from their sins and from hell. I said that at the beginning of my cause. It isn't a whole lot, but it is a lot more than what Benny Hinn them and T.D. Jakes them and Joel Osteen and and Joyce Meyer and Paula White and Kenny Copeland and so they say it's far more than what they say because they don't need such. So I do speak and I do tell people how to get saved. Even when I was on Natal, even when the future when Natal invited me, I spoke the gospel, I preached the gospel, I preached about hell and heaven. I preach about sin, repentance and that sort of stuff. So I'm saying you're not really accurate. You're not telling the truth because I have said those things. Now concerning churches and so, with all due respect, I do not know of any church in St. Kitts that I can comfortably recommend because they're so all that are enough disobedient to the Bible. And it's like they're not interested in getting in line with the Bible. Once they gain the money and so on, that's all that matters to them. Okay.
All right, caller, thank you for your contribution to this program. You're listening to Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. It is 12:41 here in our studios. I want to share with you some news out of Antigua. Well, what's going on there in terms of their election. The election in Antigua is rather interesting this time around. I have here an opinion piece from Asset Michael that says, join me in changing Gaston Brown's job title to former Prime Minister. So there's a lot going on in Antigua and Barbuda. Self-proclaimed political pundits predict that the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party will be returned to office, however, with fewer seats. That is the prediction by some. Some are saying that it's going to be a case where the UPP is going to win the election, but perhaps by a very slim margin. But for the most part, people are saying that it is going to be interesting. It is going to be interesting. General elections will be held in Antigua and Barbuda on January 18th. That is next week, just a few days away. And the campaign is really heating up there. I think one of the major, one of the major issues in the Antigua election is water. There's a water crisis as it is right now in Antigua, and that seems to be the major talking point for the candidates in that race. The government or the incumbent, the ABLP, Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party, they are promising to fix that issue. They are presenting what they intend to do should they return to office. And of course, the other parties are saying, hey, this is what we're going to do if you put us in office. But as I mentioned, people are saying, but it doesn't look as if it's going to be a clean sweep for the incumbent, but rather it's going to be a challenging election. It is, I expect the election to be rather interesting. I really do expect the election to be rather interesting, but it is only for us to wait to see what is going to happen. Now, the former Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party Member of Parliament, Asset Michael, has made a bold prediction that Gaston Brown will not be Prime Minister after the general election on January 18th, 2023, even if his team wins. Speaking on the ABS television program Antigua and Barbuda today, the four-term MP, now running as an independent candidate, said the ABLP candidates who may win are anxious to see the back of their political leader. Quote, you really think his colleagues, who are my former colleagues, are happy with Gaston Brown? You really think that if this election is close, and it is going to be very close, that they're going to put Gaston Brown back there as Prime Minister? Absolutely not. They want to see the back of Gaston Brown more than Asset Michael wants to see it. Trust me on that. End quote. Asked if he was trying to influence any of his former colleagues to dump Brown as their leader, Michael replied, quote, I don't need to convince them. They have convinced themselves already. they don't want him, end quote. Confident that he will be involved in the governance of the country going forward, the St. Peter MP categorically denied making any deals with any of the political parties. Quote, I do not know about making deals. I am telling you that Asset Michael is going to be in Parliament representing the people of St. Peter's, and Asset Michael will be part of the governance of that country. And Gaston Brown cannot and will not dictate whether I am part of any government. Let me say this to you. I am still a member of the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party. I was born into the Labour Party. I will remain into the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party. I am not funding the UPP. I will never fund the UPP, and I will never make any deal with the UPP. Michael condemned the vicious, nasty, mudslinging campaign being waged against him by the ABLP if he is paranoid that I want his job. A very interesting election in Antigua. You know, honestly, this is the first time that I am following these elections so close. Well, I promised myself that I'll follow closer and, you know, really see what's going on there. But this is the first time I'm actually following the Antigua and Barbuda elections so close. It appears as if it is going to be rather interesting. The campaign there has been quite different. Perhaps you may have a different point of view because you've been following long before than I have been. But this is my first time following the elections. They are so close, and it's rather interesting. It is rather interesting. It all goes down on the 18th of January. Just a few weeks ago, or perhaps more than a week ago, I was speaking with a media colleague there in Antigua about some of the issues going into the election. Of course, you know, water is a major issue there in Antigua and Barbuda. And of course, the allegations were allegations of irregularities and illegalities surrounding the election, where people are suggesting or alleging that people are being registered when they're not supposed to be registered as a voter in Antigua and Barbuda. You have people making a number of allegations surrounding the elections. We know in the Caribbean, sadly, generally, the nature of politics, and when it comes around to election, these allegations are going to be made. Some you may be able to prove, some you can't prove, but that has always been the case. Now, as I'm on the topic of the election, the Nevis Reformation Party, the NRP, has filed an election petition. I think you guys were listening to the headline news where you got that information. So 2 election petitions have been filed by their 2 candidates. Candidate in the St. Paul's constituency, which is Nevis 1, J.D. Keynes, and in constituency number 2, St. John's, which was contested by Dr. Patricia Bartlett. They are contesting the results in those constituencies. Keynes, in a Facebook post yesterday, said, I just want to say thanks to everyone who partnered to make this possible. I also want to thank everyone who encouraged me to move this matter forward. I have always felt that the December 12, 2022 elections were not fair across the board, and based on a number of factors, we are here today. I won't comment on the specifics of the petition, but I thought it necessary to let the people of Nevis, the people of St. Paul, know that their change agent is standing up for what is right. Also, Dr. Bartlett said, I would like to thank the 1,165 voters of the St. John's constituency who voted for and with me for change in the December 12, 2022 Nevis Island Assembly elections. However, due to Dr. Bartlett says, however, due to numerous irregularities and illegalities surrounding the conduct of the said poll, I moved on Friday, January 6th, 2023 to sign a petition which was filed with the court challenging the results of the election. She added, I stand in principle demanding free and fair elections for our people, and it is my view that we should never allow the institutions safeguarding our democracy to be manipulated. I welcome and appreciate the encouragement and confidence expressed by the many supporters who are demanding, and rightly so, for a more just society. And I would just like to assure everyone that I am committed to working for and with my people for a better Nevis. The phone lines are open and we're taking your calls right here on Voices on WINFM 98.9. You can call us at 466-0989 or 762-0989. That is 466-0989 or 762-0989. It is 12:52 here in our studios at WINFM 98.9. We wrap up this program at 1:30. Your thoughts, your view, your opinion on the filing of these petitions to challenge the results of the polls that were held on December 12, 2022. Premier Brantley, in responding to the petition that was filed by Dr. Bartlett, said that he remains confident and he's not worried about the filing of the petition. Everybody has the right to file, to access the court, basically. And so he is not worried about that. But this is the situation here where the petition has been filed. I do not know how long these things usually take. I believe it was in 2011 or 2012 when an election petition was filed. It took some time. It perhaps went on for more than a year. So these things usually take time for the cases to be heard. I mean, the entire process, from what I gather, is a very tedious process. And if it is one that you're going to go through with, of course, you must have had to say, hey, this is what I want to do. I've made up my mind and I'm going to make this step. What are your thoughts on this position taken by the NRP to challenge the results of the December 12, 2022 Nevis Island Assembly election? We'll take a short break to give a shout out to our sponsors, and when we come back, we will continue Voices right here on WINFM 98.9. Let's take this break and we'll be right back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Supermarket shoppers understand that convenience matters. At Hortsports Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Ample parking and the widest variety matter. At Hortsports Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Clean, spacious aisles and the highest level of customer service all matter. At Hortsports Value Mart IGA, price matters most. We've renewed our commitment to guarantee the lowest prices in the Federation. Why? Because we understand that in this tough economic environment, price matters most. Shop smart. Shop Value Mart, where price matters most. Farms Estate Nevis and Wellington Road, St. Kitts.
Price matters most.
Welcome back to Voices. Caller, good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon. I want some nibbles and lunch. $100 you're paying over in Bat Village. I want some nibbles and lunch. I beg them to bring some nibble soup. You hear what the man say? You want it dash in and you want one. Soup. He want a soup in and I want everything. He want his soup. So, good afternoon again to my good brother. I'm glad you got the message. You have to outline the principles of your economic thing. Don't just tell me it's towards it. Government just get taxes and judge things. That don't make no sense. Read that Bible properly. Now, it is so sad you can't find nobody. You could find to criticize, but you can't find nobody to commend. So only you alone is a Christian in this country. Some preach Christ for contention. I agree with you. Some of them preach Christ for money. No lie, you know. But heaven's sake, you must be able to nobody at all. I mean, that means you don't go to church. It means you're not teaching anybody to live the Bible way. Let me get to the petition. It's going to go like the last set, you know. We create a stir until we know the specific. We can't say anything. What are you claiming? JD consider defeat, you know. You aware of that? If you know you will lose, what you consider defeat for? Both of them. And what exactly what is the expected outcome? That's the question. And the margin you lost by, do you think you have enough votes out there to overturn it? Because we are hyping up our people, you know. You said, remember the last time when Dr. Joe filed one lot of them? It's politics we're playing. Pure politics to the benefit of some people. What happened if you lose? Now you had to beg money, ask for donations to take the matter to the court. What happened if you lose and they put costs on you? What you going to do? Ask some politicians how they nearly lose the house, eh? You make accusation, and when you lose the case, the party is not willing to back you. You have to go and raise loans, sell your house, you know? The Bible said before you go to war, first count the cost. If you say 16 in number 2, well, for heaven's sake, 16 can't get you over it. And neither can JD. And these are intelligent people, eh? But you know, in political parties, they have some people what they call strategists. Some of them strategists is only to create confusion. So until the case is tried, you have NRP against CCM. So we're going from Labour against Pam and St. to NRP against CCM. Is that what you want? I mean, they're learning the wrong things, you know. Divisions have always been peaceful people. The matter they had in 2011 was 216. Not 16. 216. If they say give Miss Bartlett the 16, she still lose. And I don't know how much more J.D. Keynes want. But we have got to act intelligently, because if you can't afford to carry the case to court, can you afford to bear the cost? That's what people need to know, you know. Because poor people have enough thing to struggle with. They have enough thing to struggle. Now, let me get to Asset, Michael. How could he still be? He's running as an independent, right? And he proclaimed that he's still a member of the Labour Party. And if he win his seat, nobody could tell him, don't come in. That makes sense to you? Devon? It makes sense to you?
It's one that is interesting. I will say that much. He's saying that he's still a member of the party, but he's running as an independent candidate. I don't know how that could, you know. Yeah.
I don't know. Gaston, put him onto the party.
I think there was some back and forth over the constitution of the party, and
Gaston put him out.
Yeah.
You see what politicians do to us. So if he win his seat, he says he go in on the government side if they win. What is that? That poor Antiguans, my husband countrymen, they're just confusing people, and then the democratic thing again, this thing with the foreign support. I said it already, say it again. Our elections now seem not to center around the locally born residents. Is who could get the most of the foreign votes. That's why it belongs to, you know. So we almost become irrelevant.
You know, you can say one, say two. The reasons why candidates, politicians do their best to solicit the non-national vote is because the non-nationals are interested in voting, and our local people have all kind of excuse as to why they ain't voting. And so if you have a situation where your own people are not interested in voting, and you've been doing all that you can to encourage them to vote and telling them about the importance of voting, whatever you're doing, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, I know, but
our local people, caller, they're not voting, you know?
I know, but we go back to the non-nationals. You think they're voting because they love the country and they want the country to develop?
I don't know
they
why
want to be able to stay at work.
I don't know
as simple as that.
I don't know why they're voting.
Watch me, boy. You're intelligent. If it's one thing I give credit for is your intelligence. I don't come with that. They voted. You hear what they're offering them in Antigua? No work permit payment. They want to be able to work free and then light up on a Monday morning.
So would you say it's
really?
So you think it's a transactional thing?
Where they pay to vote. All of them just pay. Don't fool yourself, you know.
You see, well,
you think it's right? All of them paid. And it's a matter of who give the most, get the most.
But listen to this.
Why they don't premiere you?
Listen to this. In conversations that I've had with people surrounding elections, right? One of the reasons why, as I said before, it is all transactional now. There's some people, right, who will not vote unless they're paid. Local people, non-national people, you name it. There's some people who will tell you, I am not going to vote unless I am paid. And he done there. So
but look at it. Now look at the party level now. If all the parties, the contending parties, agree, I don't know how they don't agree, how you could trust them. Look, we're not paying anybody to vote. But it has to be a consensus. Not you say it and then you're not paying directly, because a lot of this third party thing that's going on. If you say, look, if we got to get 20 votes here and you get 10, it will be so. But what we have now, we are at the mercy of the non-nationals. They decide in the government, you know. And if enough is not here, you bring in those who don't got their citizenship. Well, our thing, allow it, eh? But everybody see who could bring in the most overseas voters. So, where do we come in? Where do we, the loyal, faithful ones who step back? Because all of us could go. Where do we come in? Because they're getting paid to put the same except I put in, you know. And all kind of things promised to them were promised to me. Our political parties need to mature. And the thing again, a lot of the people who voting are illegally here, you know. And no effort is made to say, all right, come in, regularize. Sometimes they do it.
So let me ask you a question.
So you bring them in, and the time then run out.
Let me ask you a question. You just said a lot of the people who are voting are illegally here.
I don't mean residents.
Hold on. So you just said a lot of the people who are voting are illegally here. So if you are illegally here and you are voting, would that make your vote invalid?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does, because you have no right to be here.
Okay.
Remember they said, you know, the conditions under which you're allowed to vote. You must be here legally for some countries if you are here for a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
In some cases, 3 years. Because remember, if they say 3 years for you, you're here legally. But if you're not here legally, I mean you had no right to be here. That's just pure simple logic. So you have no right to do nothing. But what happened? The parties providing the illegals with the voters' ID. Imagine people coming in with passport and voters' ID. They come from America, whatever.
But which parties? Which parties?
All. All.
You said
Everybody playing a game,
the
you know.
party is providing the voters with voters ID and passport
I
and
know you-
things,
I know you're
right?
young, right?
No. We gotta talk clear here, you know. We gotta talk clear here.
Yeah,
Because
talk, I could
if
talk.
if you're in opposition, right, where you gonna find passport and voters ID to give to people?
The same way that the who in government does do it. Everybody got a friend on the inside, you know. You never ever put nothing past the body, yeah?
Okay. I trying to educate myself here. I trying to understand how the thing
boy,
work out.
that's why I tell you, don't get some mix up with none of them, you know. Abba ain't better than Saba. No, you don't get some mix up. You're free to talk politics, let me, right? You ain't belong to nobody, may belong to nobody. I belong to God. But you got to face it. When you hear hundreds and some coming from overseas, with the voters ID, who never ever put their foot in St. Kitts, and it is not in our law for any embassy to give anybody any voters ID. How they got them? And when people come in with passports and voters ID, how they got them?
So you would
They've
say
never been to St. Kitts, how they got them?
So because I know you have to in order for you to register to vote, you have to be in the country.
Well, maybe America is our country.
Right? So
No, maybe,
now let me ask you this.
Ask me.
Now these people, right? Now let's say you have people who voted in our elections. Prior to the election, they have never been here, but they voted. So let's say the elections were held yesterday. The first time they came to the country was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
They voted. Shouldn't their vote be invalid? Yes or no? What would you say to that?
If you can prove that they did not, yeah, it is invalid. But the trouble is,
All right.
who will bell the cat
Okay.
when everybody doing the same thing?
I just remember I said
The
earlier.
question, you know?
Remember
The
I said
question is-
earlier, right? I am asking these questions to get educated.
You're asking valid questions. You're asking valid questions. But the truth is, what Jamaica say, thief and electricity, thief long bag. That's a lot of the cases, you know. Thief ain't like to see thief with long bag. I hear about treating and people treat. But everybody was treating. And everybody was bribing. So what you going to stop the courts for? The judge stupid, the judge live here, the magistrate
Carla, that
live
is sad.
here.
That is sad. And you shouldn't say that. That is sad.
That's what.
You're saying because everybody do it, you shouldn't challenge it. That is sad.
Let me tell them.
That
you
mean
to go to God,
no, Carla, you must take it back because that means you are encouraging people to do it. Yes, because you are saying right because everybody does do it. This body do it, that body do it. Because everybody do it, don't challenge it.
So if you know you do it, where you going in the courthouse for?
Carla, you just said right.
I said it
Everybody
again.
do it, so don't challenge
what you
it.
doing in the
So that means you are encouraging it. We can't in one breath say we want our politicians to lead with integrity. We can't in one breath say we want things to go good in our country, and then we come in another breath and say, well, all I be do it, all them do it. So, yeah, no. We hope we think the place can get any better.
An independent person
The
could take
place, St. Kitts and Nevis cannot get any better if this is how we're going to think. You understand?
God have mercy.
St. Kitts and Nevis cannot get any better if this is the mindset that we have. Cannot.
How can it change? People like you.
Not people like me. Not people like me. People like you. People like you who have influence. You can't come here and say, well, I'll them do it. So to hell with that. No.
No, I never said to hell with that. I said.
No.
I said it again. I said.
Come on, man. Come on.
That you are participating in it. You cannot condemn it. That is plain English.
I understand. I understand what you are saying. I understand what you are saying.
I'm not condoning it. If you are guilty.
All right, then, Connor. Thank you for your contribution to this program. It is 10 minutes past the hour here in the studios of WINNFM 98.9, and you're listening to Voices. I mean, we can't, and I've seen this too many a times, you know? In one breath, we say, you know, we want this, and let's head back to the phone lines. Caller, good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Devon.
How are you?
Yes, I'm good. I'm not affair with Antiguan politics. I'm not too familiar with it. But did Assad Michael say why he was so confident that Gaston Brown would not be PM even if the ALP wins? Did he say no? I know he says his colleagues, Brown's colleagues, want to see the back of him. But did he say why?
No, that was just it. Yeah, so I really don't know.
Well, I would venture a guess that he probably sees, being the politician that he is, he probably sees that the people of Antigua, just like St. Kitts and previously Grenada and St. Lucia, are tired of these in-your-face, arrogant leaders, you know, who always appeal to our baser instincts. Dominica may be the exception. I don't know. Roosevelt's character seems pretty much entrenched, but even he realizes that it's probably time for a new generation of politicians, because the old ones, I mean, they did their bit in some respects. The Caribbean is not the worst place in the world, but they definitely don't have a vision for a better Caribbean that all of us can buy into. Right? And in any case, Assad Michael, I don't think, wasn't he the one who was involved in the Verdi scandal as well?
Yes.
Right. I don't think he has the moral authority to he should not even be running for political office, to be quite frank. Okay? But be that as it may, you know, I guess it's up to the Antiguans to decide his fate once and for all. With regards to the NRP challenge, it could be just that the NRP is smelling blood in the water, because of the wounds inflicted on the CCM in the last election, NIA election. And so they want to keep the pressure on Premier Brantley. Right? It may just be that. But it was interesting that the Premier, in a speech, said that even if there were discrepancies, they did not rise to the level where the court would overturn the election. So he's not conceding, or he's not disputing that there weren't discrepancies. But he's saying that, well, there weren't enough. Well, that in itself is enough to challenge, to mount a challenge. Because if there were discrepancies in one constituency, it could signal discrepancies in others as well. And whereas 16 might not have made the difference in his constituency, it certainly would have made the difference in J.D. Keynes' constituency, right? Yeah. Okay, so they have every right, I think, to challenge it. And another reason why I think they should challenge it is the fact that, well, we really need to get to the bottom of why there was discrepancy in the first place. Because that would suggest that there is a flaw in, well, we know there are flaws in our electoral system, but something like this that is blatant definitely needs to, we definitely need to get to the bottom of it, okay? With regards to the questions you were just asking about basically the corruption of our electoral process, I think you were absolutely right to challenge Mrs. Henry's thinking. I can't understand it either, and she always does it, right? This thing that you justify current wrongdoing by saying the others used to do it too.
It's ridiculous.
Or past wrongdoing.
It is absolutely ridiculous.
It makes no sense. I don't understand why she persists with that. It means that we'd never get better, ever, if we don't challenge these things. We don't just accept them like that, right? What obviously is needed is electoral reform, where the party's spending is under scrutiny, can be scrutinized, okay? And things like sting operations and so on can be mounted to make sure that ordinary people are not doing these things too, because really and truly, yes, the politicians corrupt the system, but the ordinary people by buying into these, give me this and I'll vote for you, they are also responsible. So electoral reform is necessary to save the politicians from themselves, save the politicians from the people, and save the people from themselves. Mm-hmm. It has to be a different way of different approach to politics, where everybody don't say, well, my vote is for sale. Mm-hmm. That's a threat to democracy. Right? So let's hope. I know it doesn't seem to be on the front burner as a priority right now, but I certainly would not like us to go into another election, whether general, whether federal or local. NIA, with the current electoral system in place. Right?
It is, if I may call it is sad that we have a situation where people are going to say it is okay for us to have an election and have irregularities, but if the irregularities are not going to change the outcome of the election, then we shouldn't worry about it. Yeah. So it's like we're saying
makes no sense.
I mean, and then you wonder why people don't even want to participate in the process, because they don't even know if their vote counts.
Right.
It's crazy.
If there's something obviously, if there's a flaw, an obvious flaw, whether large or small, you correct it. You don't leave it to steady and fester or get worse. That's a strange way of approaching problems. Oh, that's a small problem. Don't matter about it. You can ignore it. Mm-hmm. But the small problems become large ones eventually. Okay? So I would hope that kind of thinking is not pervasive, that everybody is not thinking like that. Otherwise, we'd be in serious trouble. Okay.
All right, Carla, thank you for your contribution to this program. You're listening to Voices right here on WINN-FM 98.9. It is 18 minutes past the 1 o'clock hour. We end at 1:30. Let's take a short break to acknowledge the sponsors for this program, and when we come back, we will continue Voices for today.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is WINN-FM.
Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less and save more. How, you ask? Essential Everyday and Equaline. Spend less on our Essential Everyday products and get the best quality, the best taste, and the best value. Spend less for all your family health and beauty needs with the Equaline brand of over-the-counter products. Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less. With our Essential Everyday products and Equaline over-the-counter health and beauty care products. Shop smart and spend less at Value Mart, where price matters most.
Caller, you're on the air. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Cornelius.
How are you?
Happy New Year to you and all the best for 2023. I am good.
Man, same to you.
I'm sitting here listening, right, and I just have to laugh. I am happy that as a host, you are slowly but surely realizing the hypocritical stance of Mrs. Henry. And you so rightly asked the question, how do we expect things to get better when you bring up the point to a sitting government, and because it's a government that she favors or likes, she then says, well, all everybody else are doing. And you ask her, well, how can somebody who is out of government present a passport to somebody? It don't make no sense. It is not logical. Where did they get the power from to do it? They're not in charge of the office. Oh, they have friends. Really? It don't work, so it doesn't work, and she knows this. But you see, for many years, this has been the position of Sylvie Henry. She heavily criticizes the Labour Party, and since the NRP joined with Labour, criticizes the NRP as well. But when it comes to PAM, CCM, and now PLP, everything is plausible. Oh, everybody will do it. But the Labour Party this and the Labour Party that and the NRP this and the NRP. But when it comes to those three parties, then it's plausible deniability. This is how we are not going to get any better. We are not going to see proper politics being played out if we don't hold our own party, who we like, accountable. And I have watched that played out so many times. And then when you try to jam on the point now, she said, well, turn to Jesus. Jesus is the scapegoat now. Turn to Jesus. Well, I would like Jesus to come down and fix the electoral system. I would really like to, but guess what? It's human beings. And in any system, once you have human beings running it, the personal feelings don't come into play. I have a personal bias when it comes to the Labour Party, because that's my party of preference. But hear what? I love my country and I love my people more. So if it comes to a point where I have to choose between my party of preference and my country and my people, I'm choosing my country and my people. Because at no point in time I'm going to stand and watch and allow a party that I prefer to be nasty and oppressive to anybody in the country. And if everybody gets that mindset, then these parties would not be allowed to carry out the oppression that they will carry out ever so often. It's like in saying kids, wrong is predicated on who do it and who it's done to, and if you like that individual. So if you like the person who does wrong, then, well, really wrong is, because they do it to somebody who may like. So
Precisely.
It's kind of right. This is the mentality of petitions and divisions. We defend the indefensible just because we like somebody. Look during the time when we're having the gang wars. Oh, the gangman them is somebody's son, uncle, cousin, nephew. And so, give them a chance. Ridiculous. That is why they were allowed to reign the terror for so long. Because we defended them. The same thing with the Labour Party, same thing with the PAM. If we like them, it is okay for them to do wrong to somebody who we ain't like or who we ain't support.
Because we like them.
Because we like them. So that is why for 7 years you could have hardly get a criticism of the sitting government out of Sylvie Henry and others. You couldn't get it. So it's like if Labour do it, it is wrong because they like Labour. But if PAM, CCM or PLP do it, well, it's kind of all right because Labour do it before. We're going around in circles. And to the point with Antigua, you see recently Antigua now saying that they're going to ease the restrictions for non-nationals. You realize that when a sitting government realizes that he ain't have the kind of popularity that he have locally, he start to use these little tactics. So how come they just want to do that now? Our election is looming, and this is silly season. It's the same thing the last administration did. When you're married, instead of waiting 7 years, you get your thing instantly.
You get tomorrow.
So you find a lot of Spanish people up and down and say, PLP, we love the PLP. And they know a thing about saying it's political history, the ideologies of these parties. But it backfires sometimes because if you live in St. Kitts long enough, and you understand the politics, the Guyanese and the Jamaicans, and they see that the politicians only got used for them round election time. What happened to the rest of the years? When we can't get certain things done and we can't get this done, the rate of doing business is just difficult. But when it comes to that vote, and they know they want it because they know they ain't on the go, oh, all of a sudden, we like the non-nationals. Me personally don't like this overseas voting thing from a personal level. But I understand it is your right as a national to partake in the election.
Right.
But if you want to partake in the election, man, for Christ's sake, make yourself aware with what's happening on the ground. You live in New York, you live in Miami, you live in England. You want to tell me you only pay attention to one particular news medium? And from that you work out, oh, the country running good. No. Talk to the people on the ground to find out how these policies going, how it is affecting people's daily lives. Because I'm sure where you live, in America or England or wherever, the politics up there different, and people vote based on what is put forward by the politicians in terms of policies, and they vote according. And you can't give them the foolishness, otherwise, guess what? You're going to be lawsuits here, there, and everywhere. You can't oppress people. You can't victimize people because you got laws against those things. How come we can't advocate for those laws, though? For the past 7 years, we wasn't advocating for them kind of laws, but now that Labour is, all of a sudden, everybody knows that this law won't change, that law won't change, this law won't change. This need doing that, need doing that. But how come you wasn't advocating for that when your party was here? And so, the point is, if we do not hold the party that we like accountable, we're going to be going around in circles. Because we expect the best and we expect the good from the people that we don't like. But the people that we like, we don't expect nothing much. We just like them, so let it go in, all is well. I hear a lot of Labour people talking right now, oh, the election done, ease up after this and ease up after that. You must be mad. Ease up off of what? They come, we ain't send call them. They put up themselves and say they come to do better, so they have to do better. At some point, we're going to get a little, disillusioned with the whole politics and tired of it. But at the end of the day, it's not we fighting for, it's the generation coming after,
That's true. That is so
and
true.
if things don't get put in place now, when you going to do again? You got to hold their feet to the fire and hold their feet to the fire all the time. So me ain't going to stop messaging on these ministers when I see that something going on. Me ain't going to stop going on the radio and talking when I see something going on. I don't care. And if they want to stop talking to me and brand me as a non-labor, whatever, that's their business. But you're going to come to do good because I stick my neck out there to make sure that you get elected. So you ain't going to embarrass me. You got to come good and you got to do good and all the time. You can't end up like them people where we just take out. You're mad. Otherwise, what are we really doing? We're going around in circles. Mr. Carney, let's have yourself a good day. Take up enough of your time.
All right, man. Then thank you so much for your contribution to this program. It is 1:28 here in the studios of 1FM 98.9, and you're listening to Voices. The phone lines are open. We'll take just one more call. Call us at 466-0989 or 762-0989. Let's take this call. Caller, you're on the air. Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon. Happy New Year, Ike. I'm glad you remembered my name. But as you said, you agree with me, You agree with me. We want things to change, but when people are so loyal to the party, loyal to the point of idolatry, that is why I say again, it has to be independent people who don't depend on the government of their parties for their sustenance, who could make change. But if everybody believes that I have to back the party in order to survive, well, who can change what? And I just hear a lot of support. Sometimes I want to know, are we serious? We have to face the facts. The facts are that all of the parties engage in the same misbehavior, if you want to call it so. They do. I was lobbying on WINNFM, right? I used to go on Saturdays and so. For campaign financing law. Nobody take on nobody. Nobody want that. Up to now, we don't even know who financed the last campaign for any of the parties. Sometimes we get an idea after they win who we see coming in as foreign investors because they come to collect what they contribute. And we could talk as much as we want. They just ignore you. They ignore you. So if he think he talking mean anything to them, they just put some people to haul you down, pull you down. You know? Everything. See, he'll be in this. I have a beautiful name, you know what? And this is a division name. So thank you, Nevis. And thank you, Ike. Keep up the good work.
All right.
Because remember, I'm not going to call in on your show. Because some of your people have no manners, no respect. Neither for old people, blind people, or women. I think it's free for all. So until that show get more respect, I refrain my voice from it. I have nothing against you, nothing against the Labour Party. But I have been around here. I am 74 years. And I understand and I know the history. So nobody just come could pull nothing. Oh, we're changing. How have the policies changed? And the implementation. And when you have all of these old people, old Labour, who only aim is to get vengeance or revenge for what they said for the 7 years. We're not going anywhere. If you want new people, you must have new people. New advisors don't have a lot of the old ones who can say, like, oh, well, we suffered for 7 years, so we come back to execute. We're not serious. And Devon, you're a young man, and you join the youth parliament. You must begin to push these things some more. You can't have a good campaign without campaign financing, no matter what we say. And as for the laws and so, who come up to it? Imagine 2007. Oh, we have in electoral reform. You know what to do? Just come and re-register. So all who was wrongly registered, they just be registered. And you call that, please. Mm-hmm. And by the way...
All right, we'll call up your other time, so we're going to have to we're gonna have to end this call.
Right, so Ike, you take it easy.
All right, thank you so much, caller, for your contribution to this program. It is 1:30 here in the studios of WINN-FM 98.9, and you are listening to Voices on WINN-FM. I've been your host for today, Devon Cornelius. But this is a conversation that we have to continue at another time. Well, we will definitely continue this conversation at another time. A very interesting point there. As people, we're going to have our own biases. And we're going to have things that we prefer. Right? But the issue of electoral reform, or that matter of electoral reform, and the issue of political parties and all of the allegations that we hear about irregularities and illegalities and who do this and who do that, we cannot get any better if we're going to say that this party did it, that party did it, all them do it, so well, just forget about it. No. That cannot be the mindset. Yes, we know, talking about an issue, sometimes you're going to have to be talking for more than 5 years, more than 10 years to get that change that you have been working for, that you're looking for, that the people need. But we cannot have the mindset that, well, Tom do it, Jerry do it, John do it, Jane do it, so it's right. And let's move on and forget about it. We're not going to get any better. And we're going to just be going backwards. We're going to be going backwards and spinning in circles at the same time. So, I'm not going to accept that. It ain't matter who I vote for and who I support. I am not going to accept that. And I don't want to have that kind of mindset. Well, he do it too. Well, me do it and he do it. So, he right. He kind of right. No. Come on, man. We can't keep thinking so. We cannot keep thinking so. Is everything going to remain the same? every election period we're going to come around, we're going to say, we want change, we want change, we want change. When really and truly is not a change of how we do things in the country, but it is just a change of administration. That ain't change. If we really want change, we can't get change if we got this kind of mindset. Rubbish. Until next time, you guys stay safe. This has been another edition of Voices. Have a good day.
We're different. We're 98.9.